game number 1 here in our best of 3 grand finals of Qualifier 2 of the Eggs Cup. Franco's Eggpostles going against the Watchparty, of course, from that previous semi-final we just watched. And they're banning out Lucio, a common ban from them. They don't want to have to deal with those zip-zappy heroes from Overwatch like Lucio, cleansing around, giving everyone high fives.
You can also see how aggressively they look for those pickoffs, how much they love to take those kills through stunlock. And Lucio's high five is such a good answer to that style. I think they just don't want to have to play against that. And in this moment where they know that they want to try and get these pickoffs, get these lockdowns, they want to remove the easy answers. They want to force their opponents to outplay them as opposed to just draft an answer.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I caught him mid-production, guys. We see Blaze and Dahaka getting banned out here. Dahaka very, very strong on Towers of Doom. Samu would say it's the second strongest offlaner behind only Artanis on the map, as it has so much control and so many bushes to run through. The Blaze, of course, still very high prio in the meta, and again that bunker offering safety that Ash don't want, or the Watchparty do not want to give over to the Eggpostles.
Yeah.
So a consistent drafting theme, and Hanzo going to be that last ban.
Yeah, of course, Franco's Eggpostles here did pick the map, so first pick is going over to Watchparty. It's going to be Brightwing as their first pick, obviously enabling them to pick up that Genji if they want, and Franco's Eggpostles heavily dissuaded from picking up that Genji, but you know, we saw Plaka, you know, they did play the Genji with Dragonblade into Brightwing, game number 1 in the last series.
Some people are just mavericks, aren't they? It's going to be Diablo as the answer. I quite like that, not buying the bait, and we see Coffee taking that Junkrat.
That feels a little bit worrying. I know Coffee's very confident on this Junkrat, and obviously you can trap some of those ganking angles, but that's a very low HP hero to go up against the potential Genji on Towers of Doom.
Yes, that's true. I would be interested to see if we get it here. Of course, there is some counterplay for the Junkrat into the Genji. It will be something Coffee's familiar with because he was quite big into the meta around the HGC time. If you can play around your traps effectively, you can really punish Genjis that are coming in and trying to dive you. I think it was Snitch who was the first one to show the world how it was meant to be done properly, and he used to pick Junkrat into Genji willingly. Maybe Coffee, he's studied up, he knows exactly how he wants to position that, as Hogger is going to get picked up early, and the Sylvanas that we've seen prioritized highly is coming out.
Yeah, it might be the Genji doesn't get a look in now. Hogger, of course, kind of spin through those traps easily. Garrosh, good ban out here, of course, against the Diablo. I think we're going to see Watchparty go for a Muradin in the end of this draft. But right now, they're going to be thinking about healers, most likely. Who do they want? Who do they think is the most valuable healer for Franco's Eggpostles? Of course, there are also DPSs they could ban out, but I think with Brightwing, they're feeling fairly okay. And it might be just stopping that CC train a little bit easier with a good ban here. Would be good. And it's going to be Anduin.
I like the Anduin ban. He has so much aggressive potential as a healer, and on Towers of Doom, he's often close enough to buildings that he can't be played for aggressively in the same way that they have tried to counter him in the previous games. So I like that removal. They now get to play for tanks much more easily. The Brightwing and the Sylph can really try and punish that Diablo.
Yeah, so 2 picks coming in. We're going to have Thrall and Rhaegar. I think we did see this last week for them as well. They're really looking to try and get a good bit of control. They're not scared to put that Thrall in sort of dangerous positions at all, but it definitely is in the 4-man.
My boy Green Jesus coming out here. Last week, of course, we saw the Faust out as well, I think, with the Thrall coming into a Vikings composition. So that was a particularly outlying Towers of Doom game. I imagine with the Hog already picked up, we won't see something like that, but we probably will see a 1-1-3 style as the Stitches comes back out, and it's going to be Dark Wolf's Diablo who is going to be the target of a lot of these fights.
Yeah, can Dark Wolf's Diablo survive the Cassius Sylvanas with Brightwing polymorphing them as well? It certainly will on full stacks for a long time, so it is up to Saphiro to keep them healed up as Rhaegar when possible. Wonder if you'll see those shields on level 13. But that last pick, that potential offlaner, is going to be Malthael, who will be sucking the souls away from both Hogger and Stitches. What do you think of this last pick here, Luca? And how are your predictions looking?
Exactly how I would have run the 1-1-3. I don't know how it's going to hold into that bottom lane. They might get overrun a little bit, but Malthael, so much damage into Hogger. The ability to do that top camp as well really fast means that you can use him to never really leave the lane necessarily and thresh that out instead. The downside, though, is I think Hogger with a Brightwing teleport is strong enough to contest the camp away from Malthael.
And on the blue team, Luca, it is Franco's Eggpostles with Silesium on Junkrat, Saphiro on Rhaegar, TV Coffee on that Thrall, the Dark Wolf on Diablo, and Not Prepared on Malthael.
And the red team, the curse continues. Luca's going to have to say a name. Renella on the Brightwing, Darrenishka is Cassia. We're going to have Bishops back on the Stitches, Hulapaka on the Sylvanish. And was it Morala?
Moranis.
Closer on the Hogger. We keep guessing. We have like possibly 3 more.
I don't even know, Luca.
Maybe we get one right.
It's very bad of me as a caster to not know how to pronunciate my names, but we're both British, so we're both ignorant, and we can take that to the bank. As we see Haplaka going for something up here, but doesn't manage to get too much value. It's quickly warded away. Junkrat here trying to separate those minions. The Dark Wolf now going in for a bit of an aggression. The hook does come out, and this could be already lights out for Diablo, as they have very limited sustain pre-level 10.
Oh, Hogger's still going to play for it. Dark Wolf does get the flip in the queue, though. The healing off of that level 1 talent just enough. As we can see, he's sacking the W talents. Hogger is now a little bit deep. His spin is available, though. He is going to spin and win, and he is going to be fine. Everyone is out and away, and already Sylv getting a bit of prio in the bot lane. Alpaca now going to try and stop the Junkrat from getting that safe rotation. Down as Coffee. He looks a bit deep on the Thrall. Never mind. Thrall never dies. Coffee just trying to make his mind up how he wants to win. But oh no, Saphiro expected Coffee to take the hook. Is going to get hooked himself. Never mind. It's all fine. He's good.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Wolf obviously going for this stun talent level 1 doesn't necessarily mean they're not going for Flame Stomp. You absolutely can mix and match with the level 1 talent, I'd say. It's the rest of the build we'll see. As the Dark Wolf in a little bit of trouble, they have to try and queue away. That first blood is going down here for the blue team.
Yeah, nice pick off there in the end from our red team. The watch party watching Diablo fall, but now Alpaca is going to try and play for Not Prepared here, and no escape available for him. Ooh, little bit close, but in the end not able to get away. Really nicely done there by Alpaca, dodging that E and then not getting close enough until Brightwing was up so that he couldn't get an instant escape. No mark available, so no teleport for safety.
Yeah, I do like what we see from the red team constantly. As soon as they get a small advantage, they go aggro. And now the blue team have found their opportunity to go aggro, as we see them invade this siege camp with too many members here committed to the top. They love getting these outside towers, but I like how much the blue team are just saying, look, if you're gonna play for the top towers, we'll play for the bot ones. Or it could be a kill up in the top, Luca.
It's a kill up in the top, Trans.
As we do have Olga going down. The blue team definitely feeling like they're finding their feet here in this match. 1 kill to 2. And the Dark Wolf finds a good stun on the Sylvanas, but a quick helping hand gets them out of any sort of danger. They're committed to this Q build, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, a nice little bit of teeth being shown here by our blue team, but they are going to have to be careful here. Bishops is going to be looking for a hook, as they have got control down here. We're not going to see Thrall topside either. It is 4v4. Saphiro, though, does actually get a safe cap, as Alpaca more interested in pushing the wave, and I like that decision making from him, saying, actually, do you know what? 4 shots don't really matter. What a cleanse from Saphiro, though, on that hook. Would almost certainly have been a lot of damage chunked into Diablo without it.
Yeah, you got to be quick on that as well. This is the Rhaegar one. It's a smaller window. Very good route here from Coffee. It's a good stun combo. And, oh, Sylvanas lives with 5 HP. That is unreal.
I think I saw a 4 in there. She was very low.
Bishop's
unimpressed with Alpaca.
I mean, that is almost as good as a kill. You don't get the XP, but Sylvanas has to go all the way back, especially after getting interrupted by their friendly Stitches. It takes a long time for them to get back on the map. And yeah, this blue team have got a little bit of space now. Clearing out bot lane, will be maybe looking for their next kill opportunity. As the Dark Wolf poked their head out, I'm sure Bishop saw them. And Dark Wolf realizes this, has to go forward, finds the Q, finds the flip. TV Coffee here, getting a little bit of a root. Brightwing will come out with a cleanse, will come out with a healing. And now is the red team's time to counterattack. Zafiro is all but dead here. As a great rotation, Hogger doesn't quite catch the Diablo. But Diablo looks to try and catch Hogger.
Yeah, nice little bit of teeth coming out here back from our red team. The Rhaegar, unfortunately, was going to go down here. And you can see now they're going to set up to try and invade. But whilst they do this, they're going to put Sylvanas topside. And so either the blue team try and collapse down here with the Malthael, and then they have to fight a really scary 4v4, and they lose their building, or the numbers are not on their side. And it looks like they're going to choose not to have the numbers on their side. But Calcia does get caught out there by a little boot from Junkrat, and then some nice play from Coffee. And Bishops is going to go down here as well. Stitches cannot walk out of those. Topside though, Hopaka making so much down, so many inroads into that top down bell tower, getting pressure on that.
But I like this. I like this from the blue team. We see the red team often fight, down an advantage. And the fact is that the blue team are just keep going. They keep trying to find something, and they keep making it happen. That is really, really worthwhile here. They are, of course, losing that siege damage top, but I like that they're keeping that pressure up. Although they are completely level in XP and completely level in kills. It will be potentially going to a later stages where the Stitches long hook can get a lot of value. Oh, missed the kill in the mid.
Oh dear, lesson not learned from the first time. Hopaka has now been caught out in that mid lane. Thrall picking up that kill, and that is going to give early attempts. Hogger does have to be a little bit careful with that spin. Never mind, he knew what he was doing. Bishops is just going to make sure he's safe. I don't think they can contest this.
No, of course, Bishop's not quite having the angle for the hook. Maybe not having the cooldown after using it on Hogger. But, of course, it is reduced cooldown. We know that. But
I do think that was that was a planned hook, not a meme hook. I think if they get engaged, they'll know it's kind of rough. But Bishops is falling low here. Brightwing going to try and get him out, but Israel just going to see herself die. Yes, they will. Brightwing goes down. But in the top side, Malthael picked up by Hogger and Sylvanas. A 1-for-1 on the map. But the pressure for the blue team is in this bottom lane. They're going to start trying to work away at this keep. They don't quite have the siege damage. And Sylvanas is creating so many problems elsewhere on the map. The Gorge goes down onto Diablo. Can Bishops keep the Dark Wolf in here? Q is not yet available. Now it's back. And Set coming down as well as volleyball is played. Zafiro! Oh, just able to dodge that hook.
Yeah, and Sestra being committed as well, which always feels really bad when it's sort of an escape scenario like that, and the Diablo gets out without taking another ounce of damage. Of course, they weren't quite sure where Hogger was. They could have been coming in on the flank, so that is why it was committed. Coffee here tries to find the route, doesn't manage to, but it is going to be the engage onto Hogger instead. No follow-up here, though, but there will be a last rites, which completely eliminates the Hogger, and Renella able to get a last little bit of healing thanks to that soothing mist. They still go down to the last bit of the damage over time. Death is inevitable here, and the blue team are swarming around this red composition.
Yeah, Bishops is going to go down as well. Hopaka will be able to lead a lovely little route there from Coffee, just putting enough damage on that the dot could finish the Brightwing after she looked to be safe. But here we go. Now we just need to move onwards and upwards as the blue team are going to rotate down. But Hopaka, he's staying topside. He's saying, do you know what?
Yeah.
You want to leave? Are you sure? I'm going to take your building.
They need to be safe here because this is what has been happening non-stop here. As soon as anything goes on, it's a little bit of a bait here. There is no more escape for Hoplaka, but the rest of the blue team have committed so much up here. Wailing Arrow comes out. The rest of the red team now joining in. The Shockwave here landing on Not Prepared. It is a Thrall, Diablo, and Malthael. Pretty sustainy, and there's been a kill in the bot lane because of it. Really good play here by the blue team using the resources that these heroes have.
Yeah, Hopaka doing all of them, making all the moves to get himself out to safety, but whilst their cooldowns were being used to live in the bot side, the blue team's cooldowns are being used to get a kill, and now they might get more. Stitches has been dragged in deeper than he wants to be, is going to just gorge Bishops, but with last rites, he will go down, and I think the numbers are not in favor of the red team here. Boss could go over to them, but they're not really looking to play this game for the points. They're trying to get pressure on the map and then leverage that in a later game.
Yeah, Franco's Eggpostles looking very strong here. After what we saw from Watchparty in the previous series, we thought, you know, Watchparty are looking so strong, and it's so great to see Franco's Eggpostles stepping up to that mark going, look, we are going to take you in game number 1, and we are going to show you we mean business, as Diablo not quite there in time to catch out Brightwing. And Brightwing has to use their little jump over to the minions to make sure they're safe behind the wall.
You got, oh dear, I closed the wrong window, Trans. I'm having a day. But yeah, nice little hop and a jump there is going to get him over to the wall. Silicium just able to scam that camp before the red team get there. And now Stitches is going to get the hook onto Coffee, but there's no one else here. It's just a Hogger. Is Hogger enough? Oh, almost, but Thrall does live forever. I think a little bit hopeful out of our blue team here, not quite respecting the self-sustain that the Thrall has.
Yeah, Sylvanas maybe coming on the flank, but out comes the hook. Thrall is gone. There is no chance they get away from here. They have Earthquake in 20 seconds. They're going to try and just buy time, maybe try and keep Cassia occupied. It's going to be a quick channel here for the blue team. But the main worry now, as a kill potentially comes down here. Great engage from the Dark Wolf, by the way. Superb work using that Apocalypse. They do get a 1-for-1. I was about to say, you know, if the red team are given an inch, they can take a foot. You know, there is a very well prepped mid and top bell tower ready to be taken over.
Hook out of the spin, leaving Hogger spinning on the spot there for a second. He's going to all be fine in the end. Bishops is like, nope, come over here. You want to be behind the wall.
Yeah, blue team now escorting some sappers. They are 29 core HP to 16. And as I say, there is an opportunity for the red team to swing this back with those bell towers being so low. But the blue team are certainly in control of both the momentum with HP on the core as well and the map currently.
I think one of the things that we've seen the Red 2 do so well is whether they're ahead or behind, they always look like they're a threat, right? You haven't had a moment yet where we've seen Watchparty on and we've counted them out, and I don't think that's going to change. As Dark Wolf is going to go in on Stitches, the Polymorph is going to mean that there's nothing more here, and the Bell Tower is going to get killed back. That is almost 16. Here comes Junkrat, though. The hook, the gorge, the Junkrat is surely going down.
Yeah, without their mine ability as well, it just ain't happening. And they go to finish themselves off a bit quicker so they can get back to the battle. TV Coffee, they might be in danger. Wailing Arrow is available, but they do have the speed of the winds behind them. Dark Wolf, however, does not have that luxury and is going to be in a 4 versus 5 scenario. Hook has been used. Out comes Hogger to try and make something happen. They have the Shockwave, but Ancestral comes out. Still, a silence hits onto 3, but the Dark Wolf does get away, and that is so essential here in this stage of the game.
Yeah, Diablo would have been a terrible pick to lose there, but we are going to see already the macro restart. Sylvanas going to get that top shrine. Brightwing going to try and get the bottom one, but there is a Rhaegar down there. Hook comes out onto Coffee. The healer is not there. Tefira has gone down to fight a Brightwing. Is going to delay that for a long period of time, and the red team are going to have to stop contesting topside to make sure that their Brightwing doesn't accidentally die. I'm slightly worried that the Rhaegar might overstay though.
Oh, he definitely has. That was a bite too many, as we do see Polymorph coming out. The rest of the red team are here, and that is going to be a dead doggo. Blue team, they know they have a lot of sustain. Junkrat doesn't need sustain. He's going to be far away. But they get a Hogger kill, a return. Blue team are so good at finding these opportunities that I don't even see them on the map. Earthquake's going to have to be committed for the heals, but Thrall can't even survive that. It's another great opportunity here for the Reds.
Yeah, nice hook there onto the Thrall. The Stitches is just making the money worth. The engage onto Stitches actually being used as an engage for the blue team. And here is the inch that they have been given here. Our red team now, are they going to be able to take themselves that mile, Trans?
Yeah, I mean, they have mid bell tower. Top bell tower is low. Bottom bell tower, not so much. There's a lot to go on there. I did never notice the boss being taken, by the way, by Coffee at some point. Who knows when that happened, but yeah, the red team have the option now to stabilize
sure
the
it
game.
was on screen. Oh dear,
It's been a long day.
It's one of those days. But yeah, the Stitches and Hogger are going to try and hold this mid keep or mid fort as long as possible. Obviously, Bishops does have to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to get death zone. Hopaka making friends with Dark Wolf in the top lane. is going to be able to buy a lot of time there, but that is a very scary Diablo. He has got the full damage build, so if Lapaka does get caught out, he can just go down. Brightwing is going to be here in time. He's going to be fine. Oh, Stitch is looking for a hook. Not quite going to be able to find it, but they really want to get this top down power strands, and then they can just sit as 5 in that bottom lane and say, come at us or we're going to 6-cap you.
Yeah, and that is a really good strategy to have, especially with this Sylvanas. But boss is back up. Bell Tower, Altar spawning in the middle for 5 shots, and that will even up the scores a little bit more, putting the blue team down to just 16 HP.
Right, he's fine. He's fine.
But this is only 1 cap, and I think that's a good thing. Dark Wolf as well, of course, without this Firestorm build, is a little bit slow in getting those souls back. Has to stun up. They were checking that bush. However, it's going to be Hoplaka up in here. They're going to have to make sure to use their Haunting Wave effectively to get out of here. But the Dark Wolf ready has the combo. It lands onto just Sylvanas as Brightwing not able to join them this time. Oh, Riptide is going to be used to try and find some sort of engage angle onto Hogger, but Hogger was far enough away from the Dark Wolf. Level 20 to 20 now, and with Sylvanas down, the blue team can try and bully their way forward, but they've got a lot of bell towers they have to take back from this red team.
Very interesting that we see Lapaka going for the evasive fire on 16 and not the Wrath of the Banshee. Ooh. I do feel like that self-cleanse in so many of these moments where he's been aggressive, Beans just stepped a little bit further out, might have been the difference that could have got him out to safety. As a big engage comes out, the polymorph, not quite enough. Gonna need a cleanse as well, but Daranushka is surely not going to get out of there. Brightwing does her best to save, but it's not going to be enough. And that is starting to chain some pickoffs now, Chance. I do think that we might just have to give a little bit of ground, wait a bit, and come back in again with our Stitches Cup, try and rebuild that momentum.
I like this boss call, though. I like it. It's going to take it off the map. It's going to put them down to 8 HP. There is only 1 channel again here on Towers of Doom. I can't quite remember exactly how they're done. It's completely random, or there's some sort of theme. But yeah, it's painful here for the blue team as they really want to get something set up and quick. Sylvanas is going to be given a little bit of space to get some damage in this mid lane. And the blue team, yeah, desperately trying to claim this top bell tower before they go for this engage. 4 versus 5. 20 seconds still on Cassia. Oh, and it's another engage.
Out.
So many low people. Thrall is inside there, but out comes the last rise and Brightwing goes down. Thrall is just given another engage, and the blue team are marching forward.
Yeah, it's going to be a hook on Coffee, but the ball is just going to be enough to stop it. But that is definitely going to be a cap going over to the blue team. Just a little bit too aggressive there.
Are these minions going to get this bell tower quick enough? Is there going to be someone else in charge? Coffee in a little bit of danger, coming solo. The red team called it, and they have got that level 13 heal talent, but the hook lands, and Thrall goes down. Still, the blue team now need to channel this objective. Otherwise, they won't be getting those 4 shots through.
I think Rhaegar should have that covered, although Bishops is on his way down, not quite able to hook the Junkrat out of the ult.
It's always hard when they're stationary. You expect them to wiggle a little bit at least.
Right.
And that's, Bishops is a much better player than I am, as we do have 4 core points on this first game in our best of 3 grand finals of this qualifier.
Yeah, this is it now. The boss isn't up for another 3.5 minutes, but any safe cap altar is going to be a real threat. You're going to try and see the red team really focus on getting 1 bell tower down. So if we do see a safe cap, it doesn't end the game. But they don't really have the momentum to command what they want. And it is going to be safe caps coming as well. We are just 40 seconds away. Well, minute and 10 seconds away from that fight. This is a tough angle indeed for the red team to have to play. And look, they are stepping up so aggressively right now for this bottom bell.
Oh, Darkwolf goes to try and find something, gets the flip, but doesn't manage to find the engage completely. Hook comes out, lands onto Junkrat, and it's an instant stun from them. But Junkrat might have a little bit of a saving grace as the rest of the blue team has come down still. They try to get off their Riptide. It's not going to happen just yet, as Darkwolf also gets hooked in. It's a great Ancestral keeping them alive. They're trying to keep that aggression, but the red team are the ones who are great at playing the long game. Oh, it's a beautiful double cleanse using that level 13 talent as well. Nobody got pulled back there, but the red team, this is definitely the opportunity they were looking for.
They're going to go in, though, with counter-engage. The APOC is big. The arrow on top of it is going to reduce most of the potential damage. The blue team do have to be careful here. There are so many altars on the map, but Stitches is going to go down. It's now 4v4. The Junkrat will come back first. And if Thrall can get topside, if he can cap that altar, that is going to be game going over to them. You can see Ranella wants to hang out, wants to pressure this bell tower, but now has to teleport up to support the team. Brightwing's going to go for a fast cap. It's not going to be fast enough, but Junkrat is only 8 seconds away. The Dark Wolf is going in, does not want to wait for the numbers advantage. Thinks they found a window, but the window has not opened yet. Saphiro and Malthael are fighting this Hogger topside. Has to be so careful. Right is now back online. It is 5v4. The game ends if this cap goes through, Transparent.
Yeah, not prepared. Halfway there, Hogger goes in, but they have 0 HP. It's not enough here as we'd have a great route. Sylvanas, it looks like the watch party is ending here as the Franco's Eggpostles are going to try and take game number 1 in this series. Daranushka's trying their best to live, but that channel's going through. Brightwing's only alive, and it's going to be GG, well played, as game number 1 goes over to Franco's Eggpostles. Ooh, yeah.
They pulled the Stitches off in the semi-finals. They tried to get it back out again, but on the map, they were able to be whittled away with their core, and then when it mattered, a couple of slight mistakes getting picked off at moments where they shouldn't, allowed the blue team to really get in there. And I think that Malthael pickup was invaluable at getting them pickoffs. The Brightwing just does not have enough healing output to deal with that last rise.
Game number 2 here in our best of 3 grand final series. Franco's Eggpostles 1-0 up against Watch Party. But have they angered the beast? Have they poked it too much? Here on Garden of Terror, are we going to see some exciting heroes? We're not going to see Sylvanas, as they might have seen some strategies before, and it might have been a little bit too annoying to play against.
You think having a Sylph slowly poking away at your buildings is bad on towers? Wait till you play against it on Garden. You can find yourself in so much of a hole.
Those rotations just aren't, they're not as easy as they are on Towers of Doom on Garden of Terror. It always feels like you're rotating forever on Garden, even though the map's not actually technically that big. Any predictions? Oh, all right, Fluttershy. We'll get them up.
Ooh, look at that, man.
It's a bold day when you call me out for not getting the predictions up in time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have predictions. I mean, 20 seconds ago for you, but why be on time when be late?
So, Hogger banned out, Lucio banned out. Is it going to be that Falstad again, do we think? It certainly is a potential Falstad map, but with Sylvanas banned out, it might be that they don't care too much about those side ganks. Of course, Dahaka is a hero that they like picking up a lot on these large maps.
And you can't ignore the fact that Hapaka can just take the Genji. The Brightwing ban as well makes that threat of the Genji so much bigger. I wonder if we're going to see the early Diablo to try and stop that. But then in turn, we might just see the blue team try and pressure the Diablo. Dahaka, though, just too good.
I felt like this was the pick. If they banned out Hogger and they know that these Dahakas coming in, getting those isolations, getting those licks, you just can't let it through. And getting that first pick on a big map like Garden of Terror, where having someone quickly come down to help can be absolutely worthwhile.
Definitely. It's going to be Hanzo and Rhaegar as the answer. So we're going to see, so far, a very solid camping team. This can pivot so many ways. Watch Party very much keeping their options open. They want to see what Franco's Eggpostles are going to do, and then they want to try and beat it.
Yeah, so...
Caster Cool's drafting team wants to win draft. Revelation.
I mean, the Bishop's Hanzo is something that a lot of people know about.
It's true.
It's a big hero coming in, and the blue team should be expecting it. Dark Wolf getting Diablo again, I think, almost evens out. Bishop's Hanzo is next level, absolutely. But the Dark Wolf playing on this Diablo, it seems to fit into the style that Franco's Eggpostles want to play. And it's also the style that they want to play into this team who like to play the runaround. They like to play... they like to be the ones that sort of counter-engage and do something else afterwards. And the Dark Wolf is just never giving them that breath. So I really like this from them.
Yeah, no, definitely the Diablo makes a lot of sense to me. The Junkrat as well can just help tie together a lot of situations that look a little bit scary. They don't necessarily need that extra damage. They want the wave clear that he offers instead. And as well, the disruption to just create some mayhem, put someone near a wall maybe, let the Dark Wolf absolutely destroy them.
So Tracer is going to be that banner. They don't want that coming in to do some damage in their back line. Obviously, Junkrat, you talked about it, can be good against the Genji, but in certain situations, that Tracer certainly does give you a little more worry, especially as the Hanzo can do a nice Dragon's Arrow to engage on you. But this is a macro map, Luca. They need to be thinking about the macro.
Yeah, could just be a Genji angle. We might see something like a Thrall come out alongside that Muradin. I like this Thrall Muradin rotation. There's a lot of stuff Renella can still pick up here. You need to have a decent amount of wave clear in that last pick, but Thrall can hold a lane into Dahaka. You've got the Muradin for the big engages. One of my all-time favorite things to do in this game is just hang out by camps, jump over at the last second, knock them off the point as the Muradin, and then just watch as the DPS has to cry and leave because it can't actually stay in range of me.
Yeah, we're going to have Tyrande come in. That's interesting. And there is the Falstad. So I think that's what they were fearing in game number 1. However, Falstad and Junkrat with a Tyrande that's very squishy, very weak peel. It is all on Diablo and Dahaka to do something about it. I think if you want to play some sort of crazy melee assassin here, even a Zeratul, you might be doing quite well. I don't know how you deal with. Oh, it is going to just be the Genji.
I think the Genji makes a lot of sense. It's a bit scary into Diablo, but the healer doesn't really follow on Genji very effectively. And now Muradin Genji absolutely crushes every lane it arrives into. They are Franco's Eggpostles. They are a map win away from winning back-to-back qualifiers and guaranteeing themselves a top 2 place. It is TV Coffee on the Junkrat, not prepared, playing that Dahaka. The Dark Wolf on his Diablo again. Sephiroth on the Tyrande, and Silicium is playing the Falstad.
And over on the red team, it is Watchparty. They need to win this one to come back in. It's Bishops on Hanzo, Renella on Genji, Haplaka on the Thrall, Daranushka on the Rhaegar, and Muranus is on Muradin. As we have Scatter Build, Hanzo coming out. And yeah, you know, E-Build, Tyrande.
Yeah, the E-Build, I think the E-Build Tyrande makes all the sense here. The lick going on to Hanzo. He tries to jump, but there's a trap there. Oh, no. What a start by not prepared. Daranushka not quite close enough to instantly cleanse, and already Eggpostles taking a little bit of a lead there. Egg all over chat's face as they have not predicted the side with first blood.
Yeah, that was an immense early on kill here, but is that going to be the story for the whole thing? I mean, is this the Dark Wolf's Dark Wolf? Oh, very good route here, and maybe the Thrall is the special source that they need here. Having that route to just control Diablo will be enough for them.
Yeah, no, a nice route coming in there. Bishop's finding Dark Wolf and being like, hang on a minute, do I want to be there? Huge Muradin stun. Nice Diablo's engaged, catching the Q there. Really nice for them. Means that they're able to just walk away. But bottom side of the map right now, it is a Muradin soaking against a Genji. Muradin is a Junkrat soaking against the Genji, and Junkrat does have slightly more wave clear there. Yeah. Only slightly. But the route connects as Coffee needs to be careful. Is going to zip himself under towers. Genji is going to finish him off there. Renella going down, though, to towers in order to confirm that kill.
Yeah, I mean, I think you take that. By the way, we have a prediction, by the way, of 1 for Franco's Eggpostles. Someone has taken it to the extreme to try and yoink those points.
Just saying, if you put 10 points on it now, you get 90% of the 3K pot, whereas that person only gets 10. Is this how we up our betting?
Yeah, I think so. As not prepared, it's going to be a little bit of trouble, but dodges out from the Stormbolt. They've got their level 4 talent now. Blue team still slightly in the lead, and level 4 is a great talent here for them. They get those interrupting talents, the heal on Falstad, and of course, the additional heal for Tyrande. So, blue team, they are looking to try and defend this top camp. Not quite as much push pressure to Varnus. There's a great cleanse here from Darunushka, and Bishops is able to get away with their life this time, Luca.
Yeah, Bishop's just about able to make it out there. The double Shamada, very fragile, so much damage, but also a lot of fragility in there. However, does have to be said, the extra Overwatch hero right now does mean that we should all be favoring that red team. It's never a bad moment to remind everyone that more Overwatch is more win. It's very interesting that they're just going to leave Muradin up in their offlane, saying we don't actually need a tank here, but maybe Renella will feel like they do. Does get caught out by Diablo, is going to get fully chunked, has to get a well before he can come back.
Yes, Elysium able to dodge out the route against Thrall and then barrel roll to safety. Very well played by them. They've been doing the good work here, taking care. Moranis is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Diablo looking for the last little bit, and there's going to be that last little bit of damage. Very good zoning here by Junkrat.
A little bit too deep by the Meridian, hoping his team would be able to out-rotate, but in the end, it turned out they were not. Bishops, though, is going to get a lot of damage onto this Falstad. Unfortunately, isn't going to be able to step up far enough to finish it off. He is trading so efficiently right now and denying Cap for a very long time. Meridian will be back. Falstad is going in on him just to try and generate enough space. And Hanzo still has the interrupt on Diablo, but unfortunately, Sefiro was capping as well. And so that will now end the first dance.
Yeah, nice play here from the blue team. And we are seeing very different play from the Reds compared to that game earlier on Garden of Terror in the semi-finals. You know, they don't have the big push power. They do have some kill power, though, and Coffee is going to be down to 100 HP, and they do get away. Oh, we do see the Dark Wolf trying to bring in Muradin. They're falling low, and the blue team doing really well, but it's a great stun against Falstad. They're surely going to go down as they barrel roll into a space where there still were plenty of red teams. This siege camp pretty much cleaned up instantly, and the red team is starting to bare their teeth.
Really nice aggressive rotation coming out from the watch party there. They are just playing this as a stack, trying to pick up as many kills as they can. The seed is now on their side. It'll be interesting to see if they want early terrors or if they're happy for the game to kind of play longer. They do have the issue that the Dahaka on the other side does favor the long play, as Genji is getting absolutely bullied here. Renella is just about able to get away to safety. But every time Dark Wolf is playing for him and really showing why Diablo is considered a counter, as Muradin caught out trying to make space, is going to go down here, Chance.
Yeah, and this is why Coffee is picking up this Junkrat. They are very confident on it. They know exactly what's going to happen. And, you know, we talked about this Muradin earlier, feeling like they were invulnerable. And now, on this map, with this amount of control, the blue team are just poking holes all throughout him. So really good work here by them, and they're going to get to level 10 a little bit earlier compared to the Reds, and that's going to allow them to potentially get this seed that's on the opponent's side of the map.
This would be a very scary invade. They might be able to get there, but they might get a camp. Dark Wolf is going to be able to scam the camp, is he? No, he's not.
Really good work here from Muradin. It was scary for Darunushka to step off there. Red team now pouncing onto this objective, but level 10s are so soon, and the blue team have a macro advantage, but they just can't quite find it. Diablo goes down just as they hit level 10. Such good CC chain from the red team.
Muradin, though, is going to get caught out here. The arrow buys time, and oh no, the counter engage. Sundering coming in to confirm the kill. Thrall there making sure definitely was no other way that player would have gone down. They get to Haka as well. Thrall's already on macro duty, poor boy, as Muradin is going to just make sure Falstad's honest.
Yeah, I mean, they're making sure they're honest, and they're going even deeper. They've got Avatar. They're looking for something. Dark Wolf now gets stunned. They only have 25 souls. They can't survive for long, but it is a good boot from Junkrat once again, and it's going to be Muradin stuck in there. Still, the Dark Wolf does go down to potentially an auto attack from Bishops. TV Coffee in a little bit of trouble as Junkrat is going to go potentially 1-for-1 with this Genji as they boop themselves out of safety into danger. But it's a really good stun from Sefiro. Bloodbath.
Unfortunate boop there. Not only sailing his fate, but saving the Genji as well. Renella doesn't need an E reset if he can just get Coffee to give it to him. Able to get that really nice pickup for his team, and then Falstad a bit out of position. You can see, though, now that the momentum is starting to build, this red team looks so scary, so dangerous. Toronto with a little interrupt there. Darunushka not quite allowed to cap it the first time, but is going to get it capped eventually.
Yeah, I mean, as we get later into the stages of this game, course, Falstad is going to be picking up a few extra talents to help them get some damage. Tirana, of course, has some good level 13 talents as well. Just trying to think who is going to be accelerating in these later stages. But we do see a good engage here on the Muradin. They are going to be leaping away this time. To Hacker as well, burrowing in. And by that time, the red team are all but gone.
Yeah, good disengage call here. 2 red members were clearing up the top lane. The Hucker could burrow down. You don't stick around for the 3v5 to see how it's going to watch out. As, oh no, Renella's been licked out of his jump. Is going to have to X-Strike and just about able to dodge. But meanwhile, the fight in the bottom side is going to go in the favor of the blue team. Hanzo going down here. And now they're going to look for more. Can Darrenushka get out? It looks like they just about can. Muradin is in deep here. Oh, Darrenushka, don't come back. She is going to fall there on that Rhaegar as Muradin, though. I mean, he's got to go down in the end, right?
Yeah, surely. There's a lot of control. And yes, it is going to be a convoluted triple kill here for the Blues. Renella on the side, but Saphiro, as a Toronto, if there's things to auto attack, you are healing people up no problemo, especially with this Everlasting Light and Moonlit Arrows. The Dragon's Arrow comes from downtown. They're looking at Junkrat. Out comes the Sunder. They don't even need to X-Strike. They can just clean up 2 kills here for the red team.
What a fantastic turnaround there. Blue team being just a little bit gung-ho about taking the arrow. Coffee getting hit. The combination of the arrow and the thunder meant he was not allowed to push buttons. As Falstad might actually be able to pick Genji up here, though. Has got to be careful. Thrall's going to start tanking the aggro, though. And that is a triple kill to make sure that the watch party get their momentum back.
Bishop's falling to 1 tower shot away from death. It's a little bit scary as well for them. But yeah,
Calculated.
I mean, this is what Watchparty have been like. They've been the kings of counterattack. The Emperors... no, let's not get into that.
The root on the Diablo Q.
Yeah.
Danger, never heard of her.
The Regions of the Return Fire. There we go, there's another one. We'll have that in the monologue later. It's 2 seeds apiece. This seed is on the red team side. They are closer to level 16 as well. The blue team do have a macro, like, global heroes, but they're just not being able to have a chance to soak, especially after these big, hefty team fights that the red teams have been winning recently.
Yeah, the red team making sure that they never stay for long. As Coffee gets caught by the arrow, he is just going to fall there. Saphiro doing his best, but that is not what you picked the Tyrande for. Have to make sure that he's dodging those however possible, trying to get himself out of the way.
Longing for level 16 when you can finally stand some cluns. It's going to be a really good gust here from Silesian. Bishop's in a bit of trouble as they get focused by the fort here, and that is a bit of a saving grace. Red team are going to have to retreat, try and gather this seed quickly. But honestly, the blue team might be able to contest this soon as the Dark Wolf positions forward.
I'm a bit confused. I don't see what more AA damage is going to do to save Junkrat there.
It's not done Isyan's archery, and you know it, as we do have this split team fight here. It is going to be Muradin locked in place, exactly what they want, not prepared, holding onto their tongue for a long time. Silesium unable to really get something. As the blue team, with Hanzo down, they are able to wrestle this red team off this objective for the time being. Oh, the combo comes out.
Oh, it's going to get engaged on by the APOC. I can't trans off there. The stun lands short of Coffee, but it doesn't matter. The regen is just about in time. The time has been bought, but the ults were burnt from both sides. Coffee actually diving in, trying to be as aggressive as they can. Renella isn't going to let Hacker get that cap, but now does have to get out of dodge. Hanzo has arrow, but the engage on to Darrenushka is going to be big. Is it big enough? No, it's not. So many members of the blue team go down, and this could be critical damage here as they're going to try and clean up a 5-man kill. Lapaka isn't capping the seed, which feels like a choice.
Yeah, I mean,
surely we want it to cap before they're alive.
Prep the waves as Diablo goes down a little bit slowly. They, of course, will be coming back with souls. The red team there, the kings of counterattack, the regents of return fire. They really are incredible in these scenarios when they get attacked onto, keeping cool, going back on them with the Sunder, with the Dragon's Arrow. They are doing so well at those moments where many teams would panic.
Yeah, you just gotta roll your face on the keyboard and hope when you're on the Thrall style composition. Sunder is such a good team fight disruption tool that if you ever see someone on your team who looks like they're in danger, but people have to step up to kill, you commit and you dream. Lapaga, though, might have committed harder than he wanted to, booped over the wall by Coffee, and that should mean all of the keeps will be safe now.
Yeah, Dark Wolf even still going on to this Muradin. They are in a little bit of a stun trouble. There is a big Garden Terror there as well who could slam right on their faces. Out comes the Dragon's Arrow, hits onto 4 once again, but not quite the follow-up this time. But it's enough to take down Diablo, who is not full on souls. Coffee also falling quite low. The Swift Strike able to get them, but they quickly get dispatched by the core. And these trades of kills make this match so entertaining as Muradin tries to go in, held in place under the keep here by Dahaka. And as Falstad tries to finish them off, they still have 1,000 HP. Even with that tiny little health bar, it was far too much for the blue team to take down.
What an incredible amount of health that they get to start with. Oh no, the stun! This is onto Falstad. Getting away with one there. I thought the slow from Danushka was enough, but I think it actually meant that the Falstad didn't path to where the Muradin expected them to.
Why is that, the icon? Probably because the watch... I don't know. We have the wrong icons. We'll hopefully fix that soon. Who knows? As the red team are pushing in this top lane, Luca, they have level 20. What advantage is that going to give them? They've not got a seed to pick up for a long time because they are 0 and 3 seeds.
Yeah, not able to take a keep, unfortunately, but they are going to just try and look to take some picks here. Darkwolf is low. An arrow comes in alongside the Muradin jump. The Sunder comes out as well, but Bishops is in danger. Muradin is as well. The Ancestral is already down, as I think a little bit of miscommunication there. They were not able to quite get the fight they were looking for. Maybe they needed to wait till Genji was back.
Yeah, red team, though, they still have level 20, but Dark Wolf is happy to just engage on them. They are happy to do something. There's a lot of pings happening. This is a real race around as we know. Diablo not full on souls here. A good cleanse from Darunushka, but Diablo down to 300 HP. Genji tries to finish them off. 60 HP, and a Diablo living like that is something that you absolutely dream of, especially when you do not have a quick comeback.
Yeah, Diablo just able to live there. The Sunder and the X-Strike a little bit overlapped badly. Didn't manage to get all of the X-Strike damage up. But look at the red team. They're like, okay, we're probably not contesting this seed. Muradin's dead. Instead, we're going to take away your bottom camp. We're going to give lane pressure to ourselves. We're going to try and make your objective as bad as possible. And Renella now going in. The arrow whiffs. First one, I think Bishops has missed all came but fat. Dahaka is in behind. Now, the saving grace, the red team have got a 20 advantage right now, so Dahaka did not want to go early, although had not prepared, been ready there. There could have been a lick on Renella as he jumped that bush.
Yeah, okay, so red team now are retreating. They have level 20, but the blue team have it too now. That Hellgate is going to come out, and this seed can be given. The blue team don't care for this seed. Sure, it would give them an advantage, but right now, they don't really have a lot on the map to take. Still, it's a good engage here on Genji. A stun comes out from Bishops, all thanks to that Sonic Arrow upgrade at level 20. And as the teams collapse, Dragon's Arrow isn't here for another 20 seconds.
Muradin's coming in though. The stun on Coffee isn't going to be enough. Huge wind tunnel is going to see the end of Genji. Is that enough for the fight though? Diablo is going to fall in return. He's got souls. He's coming back, but Dahaka will not be able to. Sefiro falling low here. Bishops with a massive scatter is going to take them down as well. And now there's no healer, but Hanzo is falling low. Is it low enough? He isn't able to step up. A 7 health on that Falstad. Muradin is just trying to draw aggro here, looking to get whatever he can, but the tower is going to start taking him down. Darunushka taking the aggro for a bit. Bishop's taking the aggro for a bit. Everyone just trying to get the team back, reset, and ready to go on whatever appears. But it's 3 against 4. Healer only for the red team right now, and the blue team has to be so careful about how they play this.
Yeah, I mean, they can try and go in. They do have at least Rhaegar to keep them up and alive while they poke away. But without the Genji threat, can they really get these kills? As there's a lot of damage coming in. Of course they can get those kills. Scatter Arrow is such a phenomenal talent. Now Rewind comes out. They're putting the pressure onto Coffee. Coffee trying to get away with just 16 HP. They manage it. And Silesium trading away into those DPSs is looking good. Still, Morana's trying to find something. They have found their spirit. They have found the spirit that allows them to keep going forward. But for now, they are returning to peace.
Boop in, though, on the Muradin does have to be careful here. The keep in the bot lane is still standing. They only ended up with mid-keep. Falstad is just going to gust Muradin into that wall, but the arrow connects onto Falstad. Genji gets caught in the wind tunnel with his E, but the Muradin is able to jump on the Falstad and end the game. The life of him right there.
Game's not over yet, Luke.
Against 3 on this core, but the game might be over very soon, Trans. They're going to start and going for this core. The Thunder doesn't connect, though.
It doesn't need to. Now. It doesn't need to. It was a barrier to prevent Tyrande from getting back. They do eventually get the kill. Dehaka goes down, and Luca, Coffee stays alive, but you're absolutely right. The siege on this core has started. The shields are down. The Dark Wolf tries to find something, but Coffee just can't go forward enough. They don't have enough HP. And so many tools here used to try and defend as an ancestral healing keeps that red team alive.
Core is starting to fall. There's just not enough damage in a Diablo and a Junkrat to clean this all up. Rhaegar behaving himself whilst the rest of the team go and pick Diablo off. Darkwolf does get a flip, does get a Q, then he gets the well. He's going to live for a long time. Not long enough. Not long enough.
As I pan back to the core thinking that's going to be the focus. Coffee desperately trying to make space here, down to 200 HP. It's a good kill.
Kill. Junkrat Falstad is up, but it's not going to be enough. The catapults are ending as it's one apiece, and this is it. This is the one.
30 kills to 13, Luca. 30 kills to 13.
Careful.
So
I don't think we let them play Genji Trans. I don't think we let Bishops play Hands. I don't know. There's too much stuff I don't want to happen.
Game number 3 here on our Eggs Cup Grand Final. We have gone the distance. Every game has gone to its maximum. The best of 1 went to 1 game. The best of 3 went to 3 games in the semi-finals. And here we are in our finals of Qualifier 2 of the Eggs Cup in a game number 3. Franco's Eggpostles came out swinging game number 1. Watchparty showed their stuff game number 2. And here we are in the 3rd one. And it really could go either way, depending on who just gets that little nick in the draft. And I think that little nick is called Thrall, Luca?
Thrall? I've never in my life suggested that if you just bet wherever Thrall is, it's fine. He's won twice. What can I say? Hero okay question mark? Hero okay question mark. I wonder if Diablo gets let through a 3rd time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're happy to let Diablo through if they get the CC right. And, I mean, on this map, Diablo's fairly effective. They might be looking to pick up some earlier counters earlier on. It might be that they still stick with that Thrall. Very happy with the performance, of course, in the last game and how much they controlled it. I think banning Sylvanas is correct. Banning the Hanzo is okay, certainly. I'm trying to remember what else they banned out in earlier series now. But, yeah, certainly it's impactful.
Yeah. Going to see the Rhaegar banned as well. Now, historically, picking Dragonshire was done by a lot of teams because having second pick on Dragonshire is usually considered to be favorable. It's one of the big reasons why Fnatic of old used to not play this map above all else, because normally whenever your opponent picked a map, you at least had the compensation of first pick. But here, first pick is almost a problem ahead of a solution. It means you don't necessarily get the same ace up your sleeve in a map that's all about macro and all about pulling people apart. We do see that the blue team, the card they're choosing to show early is the fact they're not really looking to contest the top lane in the 1v1, right? They're going to show Dehaka early. He's quite strong, but he lets them be aggressive on all sorts of parts around the map. And in return, Brightwing is going to try and counter that global pressure, and Blaze is an incredibly strong top laner. He's going to have slightly more presence than the Dehaka, though. So he is, I think, going to be able to control the top shrine if nothing else happens.
Diablo Thrall. Diablo Thrall right now, Franco's Eggpostles. They get the Thrall, it stops the control on the Diablo, and they get the Diablo.
Yeah, I just had a flashback to me drafting for the past 5 years of my life.
Oh, they go for the Genji because Protoss Frank is here, of course. Protoss Frank being here means they can bring that Genji value and take it away from that the enemy team who have so many Genji players.
They have got a couple of Genji players.
It's the Genji conference hosted to you by Watchparty. Anduin gets taken out. A very good enabler of Genji engages. And I wonder what else we'll see.
Yeah, I do think Frank could still have played the Thrall. Protoss Frank's Thrall is incredibly scary, but his Genji has been known to win games from time to time here and there. I'm excited to see if the Brightwing is going to be good enough to kind of shut him down how they want it to, or if he's just going to be able to roll him.
It's going to be a Tracer ban here, really bringing away that aggression from Watchparty. I think, you know, does Watchparty get the Thrall here, though? The Grey Main is equally another thing they can go for, right? The Grey Main can do good auto attacks into Genji, can do Curse Bullet into Diablo. You're getting camps effectively on Dragonshire, and Brightwing can easily come and teleport to you to give you that HP buff. I'm expecting that maybe from Watchparty instead of the Thrall, but I think it's one or the other.
Grey Main definitely seems like a good option. Could also see Junkrat. Going to be Muradin and Zagara. Okay, I like the Zagara. Zagara's like really a little bit of a problem for Diablo. If you can get them more up on anyone while they engage happens, it can be really scary. And Diablo's like hitbox is very predictable when he's engaging, so you can almost always connect more if he engages on anyone other than yourself. And even if he does go for you, you usually have frames. It's such a good fight turn, and then she also does percentage damage like a beast.
We have had a few more predictions coming in already with this. It's going to be Sergeant Hammer and Karazim. Of all heroes, Karazim was not the one I was expecting. I know that Watchparty surely have a hero that they're thinking they pull out of their sleeve right now to go against this. Chromie is still up if they really want it. And Chromie into Karazim, Sergeant Hammer feels kind of bad. However, do you want to play that into Genji? I don't know.
I think Karazim doesn't care about Chromie. I think it's only a hammer counter. I think Junkrat would be my go-to normal pick, but I don't know if we're going to see a standard response or an aggressive one.
It's going to be that Grey Main. I called it earlier. I didn't expect it here into the Karazim Sergeant Hammer at all, but that is the aggression talking about. And I don't think it's just aggression into the Sergeant Hammer. I think this Grey Main is going to be getting camps and then sitting in top lane with that Blaze. Although I don't know.
Potentially.
This is a problem, right? This is a really tough draft here because we know how aggressive Watchparty play. We know how aggressive Franco's Eggpostles will play. And here, I just don't see the macro working out for the red team. Game number 3 here. Our final game of the night. It is our grand final of Qualifier 2. Whoever wins this wins the 8 points, potentially accelerating Franco's Eggpostles into that guaranteed top 2 position, or getting a good qualification spot for Watchparty. It is not prepared onto Hacker, the Dark Wolf on Diablo, Saphiro on that Karazim, TV Coffee on the Hammer, and Protoss Frank on Genji.
Transparent was worried I was getting too close, so he took the pronunciation off me for a round so I'd completely forget. Ranella is on Muradin, another rotation here for their picks. Daranushka on the right wing. Papaka on Blaze. On Zagara, and Bishops on Blaze. We're already pushing in this top keep as the Grey Main is being played by
Moranis, as we do have. So the thing I didn't think about in this draft is, of course, red team just gathering as 4 and doing stuff there. I mean, Blaze can, of course, slow the attack speed of Sergeant Hammer, so dealing with that is fine. But the rest
Blaze appears to absolutely wreck Sergeant Hammer in lane.
The rest of the blue team aren't very good at clearing waves, aren't very good at de-pushing a hard push from Zagara and Grey Main, and they have got themselves a free front wall in the top lane, while Sergeant Hammer in the bot lane barely got a tickle on this bottom tower.
Bottom front wall. That's the one. I think what you missed in your read is that the red team, they're not a team who sit in lane. right? I think you're right. I think if your plan was to kind of get a setup that looked favorable and play it out for as long as possible, the blue team are probably going to be favored. Then the hammer, once she's set up, once she's established, is really strong. But the red team, they just go and they find value, and then they leave before the value's done. And it's so difficult for hammer comps to respond to those fast rotations. You can see they're going to try and set up now in this top lane with the camp, but already Greymane's on to the next thing. He's like, okay, hammer's going to go top. He's going to defend these camps. I'm going to get bottom camp, and then we're going to have the Bruiser with me and my friend Blaze against the Dahaka, and I think that's going to go very well for me.
Yeah, Magic Harkness, by the way, called this out in the chat. Harkness, thank you. It is the blue Buddha. It is inside Karazim. This is not the aggression. This is all about sustain. This is all about taking fights, and they're up to 24 stacks. It's going to be a long time. And while the red team already have a Dragon Knight opportunity if they want it, not prepared, in a little bit of trouble as the stun comes out from Blaze. Greymane has been here the whole time. And now they go to Siege Up, and Brightwing joins the fray. This suddenly is a 3-man push with Siege Giants, with Bruiser Camp, and with a very wounded Dahaka.
This is what they are capable of. The stun comes down, first blood onto the Genji. Poor Protoss Frank hadn't been invited to the party before now. Blaze might be in trouble here, Bishops, but he is actually going to be saved by the rotations of Brightwing and Muradin, and this bottom fort can be saved by nothing, as our predicted bottom lane is currently our top lane, transparent.
Yeah.
Watchparty are not playing this map standard at all.
There's no Kel'Thas in this game, but our world has been turned upside down as Bishops does find the stun here onto the Dark Wolf, who usually so happy to play aggressive, is trying to survive with 100 HP. They don't manage it. They go down to 0, and the red team, they get another 2 ogres to join in this bot lane push.
Look at this, Dahaka right now handicapped into that mid lane, but no one is interested in going near it. Plapaka is only now going to rotate down after he's not prepared, has been stuck there for so long. The keep wall has fallen. The 4 Siege Giants are firing on it as Coffee finally manages to siege up, but already the oil is underneath. Blaze gets the stun off. He doesn't have 10, so he has to leave because there are no bunkers, but Coffee is taking damage. Dragon Knight is in. Zakaka couldn't stop Zagara from capping it, and it's just the bleeding cannot be stemmed at the moment, Chance.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal play here from Watchparty. Absolutely gorgeous to watch. And, I mean, this Dragon Knight is claimed here 4 minutes in. It's not going to get a lot done, but you know who is going to get a lot done? The rest of the red team. They're coming in mid lane now to try and open that up. They realize that the bot lane's a bit too deep for them to go, but level 7 is finally here for the Blues, and that gives them a bit of saving grace with this hover siege mode of Sergeant Hammer.
Hammer now almost a real hero as the Dragon Knight, realizing that everyone's in the bottom lane, is going to start sieging on that keep. Zagara does have to be careful. She doesn't want to pop up too aggressively, but for now the keep is going down, and the nice kick on Dahaka is going to make it difficult for him as the engage comes in this bot lane. But Blaze is so low. Brightwing teleport just in time. Danushka getting the save off. Renella is going to be falling low here, but we see now Greymane getting so much damage out here, not willing to stop. Muradin's stun is going to make sure that he lives with, or leaves with, a sensible amount of health, and the dust settles. A level lead and a bottom lane fort, almost a full top lane fort, in favor of Watchparty.
Yeah, and there's another brutal attempt here. It's a good try, and they do trade it at least 1 for 1. That's going to be enough to keep the blue team in the game for the time being, as Saphiro still trying to stack up that insight. And I don't even know if we're going to get there with Karazim in this stage in this game.
I think you were being a little bit doom and gloom there, but it's definitely not the final game that the Eggpostles were hoping for. Such a lovely map right now for the red team to play from. So much pressure, so much ability to generate pressure. The Brightwings keep people safe when they do step up. Papaka there testing that theory as Muradin is a little bit deep. Blaze just going to connect some stuns, make everyone feel a little bit safer. But again, the camps are up, and again, the rotations are in. The blue team have 10s. They should, I think, still have them when they come in. And we saw the expected more, the bunker and the blink, but Trans alongside a throat. It is Muradin trying to make some plays.
Yes, the Haymaker is here, and the Wimbledon Tennis Championships may well soon start, as we'll see some blue teams get absolutely knocked across the park. Oh, the connection not quite here from Blaze. And the blue team, they have to try and think Let's get to level 10. Let's make it okay. But we have to just keep control of this top lane right now, as bot lane is always going to be shoved out by this constant catapult pressure spawning every third wave.
Yeah, Dahaka's going down there right now, but the engage is here. Coffee is the target. He is in the maw right now. Blaze is in the back line. Can't quite get in position for a stun. No, he can. He finds his way around. Bishop so good on that Blaze. Not going to let the angle go. Dahaka not even digging. He says, my team cannot be saved even if I come up. And a fort goes down alongside that Diablo.
Yeah, this is a completely different game number 3 right here. And this is, you know, the inch that they were not given in any of the other games. Even in Garden of Terror, blue team were doing a valiant job of staving off the Red Fury. But we do have them here looking so good.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. They're going to take away the last fort here. Alpaca might have bit off too much here. Is going to be fine in the end, but you can almost see, oh no, in comes the 7-sided, but the bunker is going to be enough to save. Muradin's just macroing whilst his teammates try to very desperately to get their way out. I don't think they're going to make it. Taranushka has got
oh my gosh!
Oh my god,
no way!
Enough.
How did Daranushka get out of there? That's incredible plays here from them, really getting into the minds of the blue team. And now the Dragonite just has to be cleaned up. Coffee gets kicked into a place where they really shouldn't be, but not prepared, and Darkwolf are there to zone away as much as they can.
Coffee was slightly further back. If he fell on the other side of that wall, I think Blaze would have gone, and it would have been very close. The Hammer doesn't have safety options when she's not in her siege mode. She's much more engageable. But as it is, still a level and a bit of a lead, and we just you know, waiting to see Muradin come on and make some more plays, as if it is going to get booted before it ends.
Yeah, I mean, it's all for good measure. The Dark Wolf looks for that engage onto Greymane. Doesn't find the initial stun, but gets the flip still. Blaze here with a big stun, but they are fighting inside that Sergeant Hammer range. Out comes the Haymaker, trying to make some space. The Maw is there. In comes the Blaze. Big stun, as we do have damage on damage. The 7-sided strike is going to do some work, but it's the BFG who gets shredding through. Protoss Frank tries to find something, but everybody is just living that little bit more than they expect. And the red team, with a 2-level advantage, are just able to withstand this damage of the blue team.
Really nice fight from both sides, but you said it best there, Trans. Those 2 levels, that 9% extra health, definitely enough to scam Greymane out of that fight. Definitely enough to see people going down on the other side as Darkwolf is falling lower and lower here. And oh no, Muradin has Playmaker to Hammer, but it hasn't quite got the angle he was looking for. Darkwolf, though, will fall here. The Diablo, so much health, but not yet come back. Greymane gets in on Hammer as well, and I think we might have had our critical failure here. The keep is gonna fall, and the red team are gonna start marching their way forward, Strands.
Yeah, they haven't got level 16 yet, but they are absolutely looking close as another kill on Dahaka. Genji looking low as well. Watchparty are phenomenal. They are incredible, and they are looking to put pressure on. They are coming down for the second keep, knowing that their health bars are a little bit low. Death time is equally quite low, so just opening up as much as they can as Diablo maybe thinks about trying to find an engage. They don't have Lightning Breath for another 40 seconds. And even if they did, it's not quite the playmaker of Apocalypse that they have been used to making.
Big Maw comes down. Gonna catch the Karazhan and the Diablo. Muradin's getting ready to try and engage on it. Frank, though, finds Lapaka 9 health at one point. Diablo is going to be able to come in and get that engage. The Haymaker not quite in time. Bishop goes down as well. Finally, the overstay is punished, and there is some light at the end of Eggpostles tunnel, but they are 2 levels down. They are not going to be able to get a Dragon Knight from this. They're going to have to settle for a bottom camp and try and push their way out. Already, though, Greymane just going on to the hard camp on the other side.
I mean, nobody's going to be there, right? Nobody's going to come here. They know that the blue team want to shove out this bot lane. Bot lane is such a priority for them. It is their win condition. They know that if they're able to get that death ball push with Sergeant Hammer, stop the blue team, the red team from really keeping going, they can just non-stop push with Sergeant Hammer. Go onto that, get onto the core, and start doing something. Renella, though, here, just to annoy what the blue team are doing, and the rest of them have to peel away. But they will get out as Greymane caps that top Sun Shrine.
Yeah, top shrine taken. Now the red team can step up and start defending. The time window is nowhere near as bad, and catapults through mid on the core mean that the blue team have to stop what they're doing. There's so few maps where the mid lane has true value, but this is definitely one. It's so polarizing on the edges that having that pressure through mid is really, really good. It means your opponents always never know whether or not you're capping a shrine. You see there, Coffee committing an ult just to make sure the shrine wasn't capped with no one near, but now Renella is thinking about capping, but is he actually going to? Not just yet. They want to get the space. They want to get Greymane on that hard, easy cap in the bottom lane.
I mean, they still have a level 16 advantage. They have all the space in the world, but Bishop's very far forward here. Saphira now looking to try and get them down. They have completed that inside quest. Those cooldowns will be much lower, but Dragonite has been claimed by the Muradin. You very rarely want your main tank in that Dragonite, but this is one of those opportunities. You are ahead. You have Blaze to do these big stuns that have been turning the fights, and of course, following up on that more of the Zagara. They've taken it bot. The Siege Giants are coming too, and if they can find a few kills, they can push the core, but I don't think they can do it without finding a few casualties from the blue team.
More is going to connect onto Diablo. I don't think there's any more than that, but the keep will fall here, and this now means that the blue team have basically no macro standing left in this game. A big engage comes down onto Greymane though. He will pop before Brightwing can get on top, but it's traded for Dahaka. Protoss Frank is deep, is going to be able to get out before the Muradin stun can come in. And 4 against 4, this is one of the best fights the blue team are going to get, but not into a wave that big. Bishops goes for the stun, can't connect it. Blaze does not have the bunker available right now. He's going to have to be so careful. The silence from Daranushka's Q on 16, maybe not what we were expecting to see. As Blaze, another stun. Is it too deep? Maybe not, as Diablo goes down. Bishops has no health, even less mana, but Coffee has been playmade in, and that is another kill going over here to our watch party terms.
Yeah, they're trying to find something. Saphira desperately trying to keep everybody alive. Without Greymane, a lot of their damage has been reduced in terms of getting onto that core, but Zagara and a few Siege Giants are absolutely enough if they need it. Bishop's having to get healed up. Renella very far forward as well. The blue team could find something if the Dark Wolf finds the flip, but not quite this time. Not quite finding that angle. Level 20s are getting close for the red team as the blue team only just enter level 17.
It's definitely time for the red team to reset. Wait till they're 20 and then rock up at the core again with 2 waves of catapult pressure. There is no rush right now. Until those 20s come online, you do not want to fight your opponents. That's their best fight potentially left in the game without you doing something really, really silly. We're going to see the shrines come up in about 5 seconds, and then we're going to get another minute maybe for the Dragonite cap, if that. But we're going to go for Dahaka here. He is able to run away, but it's all about pressure. Right? They haven't let them walk out onto the map, and so again, now that the Dragon Shrines are coming up in those 20 seconds, they can use their 20s if they don't get the fight they want here. But they're going before 20. Blaze is actually just going to fall. The bunker wasn't ready yet, and I think that might have been an overstep. Can they punish it right now? We're going to see Muradin having to run away, and oh dear. This is the lifeline maybe that Eggpostles needed.
Yeah, still level 20s are here, and they're going for the damage onto Muradin. Muradin doesn't have a lot of survivability, even with level 20. They do have that 20 shield talent, not prepared, a little bit low, as well as that additional attack damage from the level 20 spreading around the blue team. The Dark Wolf trying to find the engage off the Siege Giant, but Renella still very heavy in HP. The Karazim gets traded for Greymane, and they're going to be happy with that for the time being, but the blue team are just happy to take any 1-for-1 kill at this moment.
Throughout that fight, there were catapults in the bottom lane, but the blue team, again, just about able to clean it up before that became a problem. However, with that 1-for-1 trade, Blaze is going to come back up, and they're going to be 4-for-4 again. They've still got a level. And look at Zagara right now. She could have capped that shrine 10-15 seconds earlier, but she didn't want the enemy team to know that they were threatening that. As Muradin almost solo kills, not prepared, doesn't have that second haymaker. Otherwise, I don't know what could have happened there. Not saying necessarily you should have the second haymaker, but maybe you shouldn't be 2v4 up here. Brightwing is going to be able to get them out of danger, but now the threat is real, as meanwhile Zagara is just like, well, I'm going to do this hard camp. It's going to march catapults towards your core. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, and once again, it's taking the Zagara's vision off the map. They still don't know Zagara's not here in the team fight, but they definitely are trying to find this bunker Blaze. As it gets eliminated, the BFG comes forward, but there's 50 armor onto Blaze. That bunker upgrade coming in so useful. Still, Blaze goes down. The blue team are finding the chinks in the armor here for Watchparty.
Renella is caught in a bush here. Coffee is going to make that difficult. And the lick mid-jump from not prepared. I think the Watchparty have just played their hand a little bit too hard here, but they have got so much pressure. They got 4 Pulse walking towards that core. Oh, no. A little bit too much aggression on the camp as Brightwing is the next to fall.
Yeah, one after another. Still, this camp has got so much pressure on this core. The blue team, what did they get out of this? They're going to have to go for a backdooring of this fort in the top lane just to get any value right now out of 3 kills. 3 kills at minute 17, and they are only just getting 1 fort from a bruiser camp. It feels so bad to play from this position.
Yeah, no, you've said it all. The red team do have to be careful here, though. Genji could be in danger. Zagara might be in more than more is good enough to get the packet out.
No trouble. Not for Zagara here. Heroes coming back online. 5 seconds till Muradin. 20 seconds till Brightwing, who for sure will be able to teleport into the fray if needs be. Protoss Franco is going to have to be careful here. Is going to be contested on the point. Won't be able to get the Dragon Knight, and that is very good timing here from Bishops, as this is going to definitely prompt us into another level 20v20 fight.
Haka running in is going to get hit by the first stun. Safiru is coming in a bit deep here, does get stunned out, has to pop an early strike, but it is going to force a bunker, so definitely not wasted. Look at all that shield, though, on Bishop now. That Blaze level 16 talent is absolutely impressive, especially against percentage damage, and that shield isn't going away. That's staying forever, or at least until someone kills it. Diablo is indeed the 4-man Blaze stun in the back, makes space for the Diablo kill. A lick onto Brightwing is not quite enough, but maybe it will be. Brightwing doesn't go down, but a 1-for-3 trade. We do get Diablo respawning, but that's not going to be enough compensation. Protoss Frank X striking isn't going to be enough to survive. The auto attack had already gone through, and now we are running to that core. It's already falling shields, but it looks like Watchparty have made it happen. More catches the Diablo trans, and this core is going to fall. We are going to have our second winners. Franco's Eggpostles, they came close. They're still on a remarkable 13 qualification points, but Watchparty have had the edge. They are winners of qualifier number 2.
Yes, GG, well played. They're going to get those 8 points, getting them to be almost guaranteed to be coming to the finals. I think it probably does guarantee you. I can't remember the maths. But yeah, they're going to get their 8 points. Franco's Apostles will be walking away with 5, but it's a very well played here. And we are seeing how ferocious Franco's Apostles can be, but not quite as much as Watchparty. They really are a phenomenal force that you have to watch out for, cutting through both Team Liquid Metal and here Franco's Eggpostles.